Okay, yeah. So do my makeup with me while I give y'all a story time about how I was in a 7 year relationship with a very suspect and questionable man. And the only reason I'm saying suspect and questionable is because I did not have definitive proof, like catching him in the act or um, seeing pictures or anything to say this man is full on gay. But once I get to the story time, y'all gonna be like, bitch. Like, disclaimer, I'm not outing anybody. I'm going to be using fake names. It's not the fact that it's the sexuality part. It's the down low, hiding, being manipulative, breaking hearts, cheating. That's the bigger moral of the story. Be who you want to be. There's no homophobia here. But be who you want to be and stand on that. Okay? Let's get it. All right. So let's call my ex Ronnie. We're going to call him Ronnie. Ronnie and we had a lot of mutual friends, and that's just kind of how we met, just in passing. How you have friends, and then the guy has friends, and their friends are friends, but we're not friends. Mutuals. Duh. That's what I could call them, mutuals. So this particular time that I seen him was at Six Flags. He was with his best friend. Keep that in mind because he's going to be a huge part of the story. And I was with my two homegirls. So it was a little bit more intimate than it usually is with all of our friends around. So I was able just to get a better look at him and just a better all vibe of who he was because it wasn't so much noise and so much people. And the vibe was cool. He was very calm, very collective, very mature from what I was seeing. And he was very attractive. For some reason, I guess everything was just chaotic any other time I seen him, but I was able to see him in the light of day. It was not so much going on, and I was like, oh my god, he's very attractive, and I fucked with it a little bit, right? So when we got home, we spoke to each other on Facebook, like, oh, it was nice seeing you, nice getting to know you, this, that, and third, blah, 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 blah. And from that point on, we never stopped speaking. Like, we just never stopped talking. Every day, it was a good morning, how's your day going? This is how, this is what I did today, blah, 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 blah. So fast forward, that was in like August, fast forward to January. He gave me this really, really beautiful long paragraph for my birthday. And I just thought that was really, really cute. Like, this was a guy, he was very consistent. From that point, from Six Flags, the most we went without speaking to each other was probably like a day. So I was like, yeah, I dig him. And then he finally asked me on a date. He said he started a new job and his time was a little bit free. And then he stopped going to school. So he stopped going to college. He was going to a college that was a little further from where we stay at. So when he asked me on a date, he asked me out to the movies, and he paid for the tickets. He kept in touch with me the whole time leading up to me getting there, on like, what kind of snacks do I like to eat, bought the snacks, and like, it just like very, very, very attentive. And that's what I really, really liked about him. And like I said, I was very young, so it didn't take much to impress me, so to say. And that was just already like more than I've ever like experienced. Just him doing that much for me. And I really was vibing with him. It was really, really cool. Fast forward a little bit, we continue speaking, dating. He keeps asking me on dates, and he's paying for the dates. So, and like I told you, I was very young, so him having like a stable job, him being in college, everything was very very new to me. I'm thinking this man is doing it, and he was doing it, honey. Okay. So yeah, like I said, he was doing his thing. Like, I had no complaints, no nothing. So the more I got to know him, the more comfortable he started to become. And with that comfortability I wouldn't say they were red flags, but it was certain things that I just kind of wasn't used to. And it would be his constant need for approval from this best friend that I told you earlier about. Like, it would be kind of before he ever bought something, he had to check in with his friend. And I'm just like, but I already, like, he would come to me and I said, yeah, like, that's cool, I like that. But it had to be like this best friend. I could say, yeah, that's a go, do that, or wear that, or buy that, or, anything. But until that best friend said yay or nay, it wasn't moving. Like, that best friend had to give it the opinion. If he couldn't reach that best friend in time, he would wait to do whatever or buy whatever, or until that best friend gave his opinion on what to do. And that was very peculiar to me. But like I said, I was young. It wasn't right. Just step around, not love up that. Okay, so like I said, from January, we going on consistent dates. In April, he asks me to be his girlfriend and make it official. So now we're official. And mind you, I didn't really disclose to my close friends or my family members that I was getting serious with this particular person, because I've been known to do that, to kind of like jump the gun and want to tell my family and friends about this guy, and then things go left. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. It's another one bites the dust. So I just wanted to just have something for me, see exactly where it was going, how serious this person was, and see exactly what it would turn into before I told anybody. Now we're official. I'm telling my friends and I'm telling my family. He meets my sister first. After meeting my sister, he goes home. I head over to my sister's house. My sister says, Jada, that man is gay. I said, I'm sorry? Wait. Okay. So my sister says that, and I'm like, I'm half taken aback, because that was really left field, because from their interaction, it seemed like everything was going really good, and they was laughing at each other's jokes, or whatever the case may be. And then right after, like, she was like, yeah, that's what it is. And because I already had those underlying feelings, I just couldn't pinpoint exactly what it is in like regards to the best friend and that dynamic being a little weird to me. When she said it, it was just kind of like, that's what I've been feeling. Okay. But I was still very much in denial. In this whole story, I'm not delusional right now. I was delusional back then. But right now, I'm not going to be delusional about being delusional back then. Like, I was stupid. I was young and dumb, guys. So please don't come for me in the comments. Okay? So I kind of just chalk it up to my sister that he was raised around a lot of his sisters, and that could be that influence. She lets it go, I let it go, and we continue on. Now, I met the best friend. Questionable. Here comes another male friend that he's very cool with. Let's call him Johnny. So my ex is Ronnie. This other friend that I'm just meeting is Johnny. Now, I already knew Johnny from in passing, kind of around the same neighborhood, got a lot of mutual friends. When I got with my ex, he was very opinionated about our relationship, and publicly on social media, kind of always, if, when you're young, you make cute little statuses on each other's stuff, and he would always be under both of our stuffs, just commenting something weird like, oh, that's gay, or yeah, y'all need to get a room. Like, it was just very like, oh, this is lame. Like, he just always was commenting every status, almost every status. He would comment something. That was a little off-putting to me. So I told him, my ex, Ronnie, about it. And he was just more so on, oh, that's just Johnny being Johnny. That's just bro. Da-da-da-da. That's going to be a consistent theme. So pay attention to that too. So this one is about to cut off. But if y'all want part 2, you know what to do. Okay? Okay. So part 2 of how I was in a 7-year relationship with a very suspect and questionable man. Let's get it. So like I said, Johnny comes around. Johnny is way too opinionated on our relationship negatively. And now my family has my ex Ronnie on social media. So they're now starting to see what I've been seeing and how strongly opinionated negatively Johnny is on me and my ex's relationship. They're like, whoa, red flags on the play. Who is this? Like, who is this guy? I bring it to my ex attention. Again, like, you have my family now on social media. It's getting embarrassing. It's getting very weird. And I honestly think that your friend likes you. And I said that to him straight out. He does this. What are you talking about? What are you like? What? Where was this coming from? Like, he does that. It's not like a. It comes off like it's not the biggest shock to him. Like, whoa, what? Where did that come from? It was just almost like he's just downplaying what I'm saying. If you catch my drift, we make up. We stop arguing about it. Fast forward. We're now hanging out. We're going out. One of his friends has a baby shower. We go to the baby shower. Johnny's there. After the baby shower, because it ends very dramatically, after the baby shower, we plan on going somewhere else. Now, me and my ex are in the back, and Johnny and some of the other friends are in the front. Now, I see that the other friends are kind of walking a little bit in front of Johnny. So it's a group of the friends, Johnny by himself, and then me and my ex right behind Johnny. I see my ex starting to pick up his pace a little bit to kind of meet Johnny where he's at and leave me in the back. Now, mind you, this is mid-conversation I'm having with my ex. And I'm seeing him pick up his pace so that he could just meet Johnny. Then it goes to him kind of like saying, oh, I gotta meet Johnny here, there, this, that, and the third. He needs help with this, he needs help with that. Like, it went from him being super, super close to the best friend to being super, super close with Johnny. Now, it got to the point where I overheard a conversation that my ex and the best friend was having over Johnny and how the best friend feels like, yeah, what's going on with that, bro? Like you act like you don't know niggas no more. Like, just kind of like having a lover quarrel, however you say it, but using kind of just like hood nigga lingo. And it felt like two people in a relationship having an argument about who's this person that you're getting close to. So it was that. Then it was, now he's spending days at Johnny's house. The maximum time, like 3 days straight. And because they worked together in an entrepreneurial field and did the same thing, he would use that as an excuse, like, oh, we gotta lock in. Me and bro, we just gotta lock in to stand the third. And I'm just like, okay. Me being young and wanting to be the supportive girlfriend and not really understanding that field very well, I'm just kind of thinking that's just something that they have to do and just lock in. So now it went from us not really arguing, things being really blissful, to us having the weirdest arguments about male friends. Never has it been about a girl or a girl commenting under his statuses or I smell perfume on your clothes or you got lipstick on your car. Those arguments have never happened in the entire 7 years I've been with this person. It has been majority surrounding men and how the relationships with him and the male friends or co-workers or business partners that he has is very strange to me. Okay, so at this point, I think that now he gets the hint that I'm not going to stop bringing it up. If I see something weird that's going on with him and his friends, I'm going to bring it to his attention. So he kind of falls back from Johnny and the best friend a little bit. And at that point, he is giving me undivided attention again and being very attentive like he was in the beginning. But out of nowhere, he gets really distant. He starts to kind of reclude a little bit and being very defensive over anything. Or anytime I want to get like a little close to his phone or just kind of like, you in your phone a lot, like, what are you doing? And say those type of questions, he gets really, really fidgety. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit because this is when shit is going to get real. This is going to get real, guys. Okay? So he comes to my house one day. He's visibly upset. And he says that his friend, we're going to call this friend A. A was talking to this girl on my ex's Ronnie's Snapchat, and the girl thinks it was my ex Ronnie that she was talking to when she was really talking to his friend A, and now is trying to confront me about all the naked pictures and videos and messages that my ex was sending her, but it really wasn't him. It was the friend A on my ex's Snapchat. I know I'm going to get crucified for this one right here, but I'm listening to what he's saying, and I said, okay, do you have this person's number? This girl's number. And he's like, yeah, he gives them to me. I call the girl, and I'm cursing, I'm yelling, I'm screaming like, who the fuck you think? Da 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 da. My man already told you that was not him. This, that, and third, and this person is on the other line like, you're so They just keep saying you're so delusional. You're so delusional. It's so sad. Like, it's so sad how women like you don't have any self-esteem. You're so sad. And mind you, I'm hearing this person say this, but I'm still arguing, taking up for my man. He's right there. Okay, so now I say get the friend A on the line. So I'm talking to A, and mind you, I'm yelling and screaming at A now, like, oh, it was too hard for you to make your own Snapchat. Now you got my man into X, Y, da 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 da, blah blah blah. And the friend A is just like, I'm sorry, sis. You know, it never happened again. Yeah, she's crazy. Don't mind her. Blah 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 blah. So now I get my sister involved because my sister is top tier, gonna figure it out. Like, FBI got nothing on my sister. So I'm calling my sister, giving my sister the number, telling my sister, like, this is what it is. This, like what we gotta do, because I'm pissed at this point. My sister talks to this person on the phone, calls me back in like literally 5 minutes, and says to me, now mind you, my ex Ronnie is on the phone with his friend A that supposedly got him in all of this mess. I'm next to my ex, and I put my sister on speakerphone. My sister says, Jada, that is a tranny on the phone. I'm like, I am floored at this point. My sister says it as calm as that. Jada, that is a tranny on the phone. Because mind you, like, this is something my sister has been questioning about him. And then question it a little bit more with the friend Johnny and how opinionated he was in our relationship. And now this. So my sister is just kind of saying it like, girl, I've been saying this to you. Like, this is a tranny on the phone. Just to kind of like, girl, like, what we doing here? So now the friend A is overhearing all of this because I put my sister on speakerphone. And he's hearing this, and he's like, "Oh nah, that can't be right. No, no, no." Fast forward a little bit, I kept asking my ex, "Who is this person? What's really going on?" Because me and my sister are about to go up and meet with this person, because this person was willing to meet. Like, this person wanted to tell the tea and didn't have a problem. Like, where you want to meet at? Because I'm gonna tell you what's really going on with your supposed man. Once I said that, my ex says, no, it wasn't story was a lie. I was really talking to this person, but I did not know it was a transgender, and they catfished me. I never did nothing with them, so forth and so on. What? They never met up. They were supposed to. My ex backed out, so forth. And that kind of coincided with the story this person was telling me. The only thing was different. My ex was saying he was catfished, and this person said no, he knew exactly what I was and what I was into. Stay tuned for part 3. Okay? Part 3 of how I was in a 7-year relationship with a very questionable and suspect man. Okay, so now I got to that realization from this person, that no, he knows exactly what I am and what we were gonna do. Like, I didn't hide it. He was not catfish. Sorry, guys. It's raining. This is how real it's getting, y'all. Okay. And just to rewind a little bit, this person went to extreme lengths to expose my ex, as if they were in some type of relation and my ex was trying to play with this person. Like, it was deeper than just, oh, we was talking a few times on social media and we was going to get into something. No, this person found my sister's Facebook, my mother's Facebook, my Facebook, some of my friends, and proceeded to send all of them his explicit videos of him releasing himself, penis pictures, messages. He sent that. This person sent that to my mom. My mom's Facebook of my current boyfriend at the time, genitals, and videos of him releasing himself. Thank God me and my sister has my mother's Facebook password and was able to delete it. And was able to delete it before my mother ever really seen anything. Like, this how sick the situation was. And the only reason why we knew that this person sent it to my mother is because they were threatening to send it to everybody that he knew, including everybody that I knew. So we just started asking people and looking in DMs and inboxes and after a couple of times, just asking like a couple of people that we knew, like, oh, if somebody sends you anything, just let us know, blah, blah, blah. Like, not saying exactly what was going on, but just saying, like, if somebody weird sends you something, don't even paint it in no mind. Just kind of brushing it off. But it was just the most surreal thing. And me being so dumb, so naive, so just kind of like inexperienced with just relationships and how things are just supposed to go, I ended up breaking up with him and then taking him back a week later after he came to my house, dropped down on all fours, and was just begging me, crying, snot, everything to come back. And he's so sorry. And please believe him, it was a catfish. He did not know this person was what they were, so forth and so on. Stupidly, I accepted his apology and took him back. So we go on, continue having a relationship. Things from that point wasn't too off. Like, I quickly forgave him. Even internally, I quickly forgave him and didn't really bring it up. But still had those underlying feelings of this person is something else to him that is not just a heterosexual man. So that was in 2018. Fast forward to 2020, we're in full-blown pandemic mode. Like, the world shut down. Our anniversary was coming up. He started to display certain behaviors that triggered me of this time before, of when becoming very defensive, very reclusive, not saying much, not really want to talk, can't really look me in my eyes. So it triggered me so much. My head starts spinning, like, not again, not again. Those are my thoughts. I have a very close friend. My close friend is the girlfriend of his best friend. I start confiding in her that, girl, that things feel very familiar. I feel like he's cheating on me again. And I say it to her, plain as day. No, I don't think so. I think he learned his lesson. She just being a friend. Like, she just being a friend and trying to ease my mind and ease the thoughts that I'm having. Right? So she's trying to ease my feelings and my thoughts. And I'm just simply telling her, like, girl, I've been here. It looks way too familiar. I think that he is cheating on me again. So now I'm having this conversation with her late March. Like I told you, we got together in April, so our anniversary is approaching. My family makes us a huge seafood boil, knows that we both love seafood boils. Spends all day, my mom, my sister buy us presents. Now, mind you, we went 2 years prior. We went through this whole ordeal, and they know everything that I went through with this man, and still they just supported me with taking this man back, and just, if that's what you want to do, we support you, and still treated him like basically a son-in-law and a brother-in-law. So they got us gifts. I get a text, so now I'm texting him like, hey, everything's ready, just let me know if you're making your way or whatever the case may be. I'm about to go in the shower. So you call me if you need me. So after I get out the shower, I see a lengthy text that he sends me and tells me that he cheated on me again, and he spent the day at the doctor. When he told me he was at work, he spent the day at the doctor to go get tested because this person said that he should go get tested. It's our anniversary. My family is in the living room making us our anniversary dinner and wrapping our gifts for our anniversary. I'm in the bathroom now bawling because he sends me this message. So I dry myself off. I go and put on some clothes, and I do the best that I can at composing myself. And he sends another text message and says that he's outside in my staircase and can I come out and talk to him. So I put on a good face for my family and tell them, hey, he's outside. I'm just going to go meet up with him real quick. And I'll be right back. They think nothing of it. I go outside and I immediately see him, and he has the same sad puppy dog face that he did the last go around. And I'm just looking at him in pure disgust because the amount of healing it took from that last situation in totality, as far as him getting back in my family remotely their good graces, it was just like, how could you put us back at this point, right? He proceeds to tell me that he met this person, this girl, on the train. From the train, they had a conversation. That conversation led them to go to her car. And when they went to her car, the girl gives him a hand job and jerks him. But he thought he caught something from that because she spit on her hand to give it to him. So now at this point, I'm a little bit older, and you're not gonna, no, that don't make sense. So y'all went from her train to her car, and you was able just to meet this girl off a whim so quickly that you felt comfortable with just going back to her car and getting a hand job. And then from that hand job, you thought that you caught something to go to the doctor all day. That don't make sense. So I told him, like, no. And after that, I said, my family spent all day doing this. You're not gonna ruin this for me and for them. You're gonna go in here and we're just gonna act like everything is okay. We're gonna have our dinner. We're gonna open up our gifts, and we're gonna talk about this later tonight when everybody else goes to sleep or when everybody else leaves. Stay tuned for part 3. Because when I tell you this shit is beyond me, and yes, I'm dumb, I'm stupid for staying for 7 years, when at this point, this was only year 4. Part 4 of how I was in a 7-year relationship with a man who was very questionable and suspect. So we are now eating the dinner that my family prepared for us, opening our gifts, doing the best we could with keeping a good face and acting like nothing's wrong. And he's doing everything in his power. Like, he's doing the dishes, he's picking up everybody's plate, like, he's being super attentive. And my family is kind of like, no, you don't have to, it's your anniversary. And he's insisting that he does this all because he knows what's going on. So fast forward, everybody heads out, and everybody goes to bed, and I'm just sitting there looking at him like what's wrong with you? Like, genuinely. So after over and over and over and over and over and over and over, I tell him, this is not flying. This story makes no sense. And you already disrespected me enough by doing this. You're not going to continue to disrespect me by giving me this half-ass story. What is this? It transpires to the whole story changing. So now the new story is that he was on Tinder. And him being on Tinder, he matched with somebody. His words, I matched with somebody and met up with them, and they gave me a blowjob. Okay, you met up with this person and gave you a blowjob. Where did you do it at? In their car. What kind of car they drive? Jada, what does that matter? What does that matter? I'm asking details now. Because, like, what is, like, it's just, it's so crazy to me that you're this comfortable with just meeting these random people. This is the second time in a row where this is a random person that you're meeting on the internet, and you feel the comfortability with potentially, or now you follow through. So the first time you was about to. The second time you actually did something with this person. You cannot tell me a name. I asked them, what does this person look like? He gave me the most vague description. Dark skin, about my height, and her name was Bree. No last name. No full name. Bree. Bree. That's it. You don't. Is it Brianna? Is it Brittany? Is it Burkisha? Like, just Bree. So it's Bree. And nothing was making sense. Like, it was Tinder. So now at this point, I'm actually feeling super disrespected. So now I'm getting a little bit more boisterous on my opinion of what I've been feeling for the past 4 years now, right? So now I asked him, I said, did you do something with a man? And I say it just like that. And he just looks at me like, what? It's almost like every time I confront him about something in regards to either his friend's sexuality, or now I'm confronting him about potentially his, it's never like this. Like, what do you, like, why would you even think that? Or it's just kind of like the feeling I got was like, how did you figure this out? So now I'm full on confronting him about it. He's denying it. Of course he would. But he's not doing anything that would prove his point. I would feel like if my girl, my woman, is accusing me of having anything homosexual going on, I would go to the ends of the earth to prove, no, who I met up with was a woman and I did something with a woman. He wasn't doing any of that. Red flag on the plate. I know all of this is red flags, but this is when I particularly at this moment, being head over heels in love with somebody, was saying like, okay, now red flags for sure. Any other time I was just guessing, assuming, you know. Now I'm feeling like, okay, this is definitely something. Something is going on. Now, mind you, I told you because of what was going on, the world shut down. So now I had to go find a place that was willing to take me to go get tested myself. And then at that time, we didn't even know what was really going on. So I was scared to go outside. And now I'm forced to go outside because now I got to go see if I'm good. Luckily, I was amazing. I was good. Everything came back clean. His stuff came back and he was clean. Broke up. Now at this point, when we broke up for 3 months. We was done for 3 months. Baby, baby, please, baby, baby, please, baby, baby, please. Da 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 da. Same spiel over again. We got back together. I know, y'all. I know, stop screaming at me. Stop screaming at me. This is how dumb I was. All of that happened in April. His birthday is in September. I took him on a birthday trip, y'all. So I took him on his birthday trip and I asked all his friends and family to send me videos of them telling him happy birthday and how much he means to them. And I made a big collage to play for him on his birthday. Yes, I know. I'm stupid. While we was out there, I did bring up everything that happened in April. And I told him, if you do anything remotely, even close to anything that we had experienced in the past, and I find out anything, we're done. We are done. Okay? Done. Okay. So for about, I want to say 2.5 years, things were going smooth sailing. We moved in with each other. Things were becoming better, but as far as the friendships he was having, still felt very, very weird to me. And he continued to make friends and get overtly close with them. So that was still an argument because now I feel the way that I feel. So now I'm side-eyeing all your male friendships that you're having. And that gave me anxiety. It made me paranoid. It made me very insecure. Because not only did I feel like, okay, there's women maybe around my man, but now I have to worry about men being around my man. Fast forward, now we moved to Atlanta. We're in Atlanta now. Things are going cool. Now, I was financially stable in New York. When I came to Atlanta, I was not, because I was starting my career all over again. So he started becoming the one that was a little bit more financially stable. He was taking me to work. Just everything was going pretty cool. And then he started doing Lyft. So now he started to say like, oh, he had to go out a lot and make this money, driving all the time in his car, barely was home. So now being distant, being detached. So I started to see the red flags on the play again. So now that I'm seeing all the red flags on the play again, we're gearing up to go to part 5. Hopefully part 5 is the last part, because this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And like I told y'all, I told him the last time, if something happened again, this will be the last time. And I was not playing. So stay tuned for part 5 to see how this jackass fucked around and found out. All right, so part 5 of how I was in a 7-year relationship with a very questionable and suspect man. Okay, let's get it. So I'm just going to rewind a smidget, because I did say that we were good for those years that we lived together, and we weren't. I was just referring into nothing really happening on like the cheating front, but things started to get physical between us, because, like I said, I was confronting him about the friend still, even though there was no definitive proof of the cheating. It was still very questionable about the relationships that he was having with his friends, and just the comfortability of him kind of showing me like any new friend that he made, it being a male, that they kind of like had the one up on me a little bit. That's the feeling that I got. Not that he was saying that, but it always felt like I would go to the ends of the earth for my friends and like their birthdays or their outings. But when it came to my birthdays and it came to something that I needed his support in, when it came to me, it was just half ass or nothing at all. So we would get into arguments like that, and then things would become physical. So I just wanted to rewind a little bit. Now we're gonna fast forward back to us moving to Atlanta. So now we're living in Atlanta, and like I told you before, I was a little bit more financially dependent on him, and he was using Lyft as in, oh, since I'm supporting you now too, I gotta go out here, I gotta do what I gotta do, I gotta grind. So he was out majority of the day, and because his job was in his car, and he did give me his location because that was a part of the guidelines of us getting back for the second time. He was now saying, oh, if you see me anywhere, I'm doing the lift. So he had excuses. He had like a clear cut excuse of why he would be somewhere that was just in West Bubble. Okay. So, okay, so now on this particular day, I'm getting ready to make my makeup clients. It's a wedding, and he's being very attentive. It's like he's being very attentive, but very that same cold, distant. Like every time he does something he's not supposed to do, he gets like this. But also being attentive, so he offers to drive me there. He's putting the car. He put in the bags in the car, my makeup case, loading it up, opening my door, like doing things that is very sad that he hasn't done in a long time for me. When we get to the venue, he's taking my stuff out. He's walking me to the door to say goodbye. He gives me this long kiss, and he's just being very attentive. But while he's doing all of this, he's not able to make eye contact with me. So it's like, it's very weird. Okay, so I do my clients to the bridal party. He comes and picks me up. I give him money for gas. He denies it. He's like, no, you don't need to do that. Whatever the case may be. I'm like, you sure? Like, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, he had no problem taking my money for gas any other time. So I'm just like, okay. So one of my coworkers was having a farewell party, and invited me. So he was going to take me there. Now, I was going to Uber there because I planned on drinking or whatever the case may be. And I knew that he had to go do Lyft. He says, no, I don't have to do that. He's going to take me. So he proceeds to take me. On the way to the party, he asks me, have I been to the doctor lately? And I said, no. Why would I? Why? It's nothing wrong with me. He sighs and he's doing these little facial expressions while he's driving. That's really peculiar to me. So I'm like, me, my smart little mouth, I'm like, why? You was out here doing something? And he says, yes, I did. I got ahead from this person, and my test results came back today, and I have gonorrhea. So I'm in the passenger side, and I'm just looking at him. Now, mind you, he's not taking his eyes off the road. He's not looking back at me. He's just looking straight ahead, and I'm just looking at him. We got to the destination of the party. I got out of the car, and I said, are you able to pick me back up? He says, yeah, and he just still no eye contact. I get back in the car and I just tell him like how could you? But I'm so calm, the same way I am right now. I'm just looking at him and I'm just like, how could you? And then we arrive back to our house and I take a shower and I lay down and he proceeds to get in the bed with me and I just burst out in tears. I just burst out in tears. When I tell you it was that ugly cry, that type of cry. So I asked him, how did this happen? What did you do? He goes and tells me he was on Tinder again. Met somebody from Tinder and got a blowjob and caught gonorrhea. So I said to him, I said, you know what? It's so crazy how every time you do something, something always happens. Like, you don't think that's crazy? He says, yeah, like, I only ever did anything those 3 times. And I said, okay, so you only did things 3 times and every time you get caught or every time something bad happens to you. So I told him in the most calm voice possible, we're done. I told you if this anything happened like this again, we will be done and it's over. He called my bluff and I said, I can give you a month to find somewhere else to go and somewhere else to live, but you are not staying here no more and we're done. He tries to talk, work it out, and I said, at this point, it's either you are doing things with men or you did something with a prostitute. Which one? This jackass says, oh, I did something with a prostitute. So I said, okay, you did something with a prostitute. How did you pay the prostitute? He tells me, it was cash. I said, okay, so show me the transaction or where you took money out of your bank. He shows me a statement of when he took out $80 from a bank in Riverdale. I said, that's very peculiar because that same bank around that same time in that same area is when you took out money to come and get my nails done. So you want to try again? He starts, Jada, I don't understand. What point are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? And I just looked at him and I said, this is the saddest thing. This is the saddest thing. I said, you need help. And we lived with each other for a month. And in that month, I've seen him go from up and down, hot and cold. It would be days he would come home and he wants to work it out and baby please and baby please, and then it would be days to where he treated me like shit on the bottom of his shoe. And we had a dog together. He said, I'm not doing shit for that dog. Don't ask me to walk it. And then it'll be days where he come in and he'd be like, does the dog need this? And does the dog need that? And I'll do this. Oh, I'm just trying to make it work. I want to get married to you. I want to have babies with you. And then he'll come the next day and be like, you find a way to get to work. I ain't taking you to work. I ain't doing nothing for you. It was that for a month. So come June 1st, I told him, you have to leave. He tried to give me another month's worth of rent. I gave it back to him and I said, you need to leave. You need to go. We are done. Stay tuned for part 6. I promise part 6 is going to be the last part. I'm going to try to sum it all up. Okay. Okay, so part 6 of how I was in a 7-year relationship with a very questionable and suspect man. Let's go. So like I told you, I gave him a month to get himself together. And during that month's time, he was going through every emotion known in a book, treating me like he's groveling at my feet, and seeing that's not working, to resorting back to treating me like complete utter shit. So during that month, I would hear him on the phone with the best friend, the infamous best friend. And I would hear sometimes the best friend saying, like, yeah, bro, you better off without her. And I would let it slide. I would hear it. Because sometimes I felt like out of all the other times you were on the phone with the best friend and I could never hear your conversation, even when I was trying to. Now I'm able to hear it so vividly, like almost like you want me to hear him say that. Okay. So, initially, I packed all his stuff up already when we got back from the party the day that he told me. So I packed all his stuff up. So everything was already in boxes. He took the boxes from the room that we was in together to the garage and left them in the garage for the remaining time of the month. Cool. So, and then he was not sleeping in my bed. He was sleeping in another room. He comes one time in the room and gets in the bed as if nothing happens and proceeds to touch on me like we were about to do something. I kicked him out expeditiously. That pissed him off. So that was close to the time where he was gearing up to leave. And so from that point on, it was just like in passing, walking right past each other. Cool. So I get a call from his dad. His dad proceeds to tell me, oh, like, that's your man. Don't let your man go. Don't let anybody else have the satisfaction of taking your man from you. Because no matter how bad, and this is another part, maybe in another story time I'll tell you, but he used to throw me under the bus every chance he get to his friends, to his family, like did not give me no protection. Like he would talk bad about me to his friends and family, to where they started treating me differently. And I know that because I had a conversation with his sister and all the stuff that she told me he said about me. I'm like, wow, majority of it was lies. And for the stuff that was true, he never told her the things that he did to make me react that way. But because the father, I'm guessing he was saying that because he didn't get the full scoop. And I told him, but you know, he caught something. He caught gonorrhea, so he could have easily gave that to me, and now he don't care about my life, and I don't feel safe. His father proceeds to tell me, but that's your man. You have to stick by your man. I hung up. No. So he leaves. Now, when he leaves, I want to say 2 months go by. And a month goes by the first time he tries to reach out to me and tries to tell me like he wants to come back and he's going to make it work. And then he does it a second time, the second month. No, both times. Not happening. I was already done. I told you the last time was going to be the last time. And I was done. I didn't feel safe with this person no more. I didn't feel like I knew this person no more. It got physical. My health is at risk. I don't trust you. And every time he cheated, it just got worse. And I just wasn't willing to take that chance on seeing what the next worst was, because now the next time I might catch something that I cannot get rid of. Because we're in Atlanta. And I feel like you're doing what you're doing because there was never no proof of any woman in sight. For 7 years, I was arguing with this man about men. So from certain people and through the grapevine, I find out that he is creating this whole new narrative that I just let him become homeless out into the streets and didn't care and just kicked him out. And my family was way too invested in our relationship and drove a wedge between us and so forth and so on. And that was the reason that we ended. Okay. So fast forward a little bit more, I find out that he has a new girlfriend and he moves in with the girlfriend relatively pretty quickly. I understood exactly the reasoning for that. Okay, you need a place to live, and you probably took the first opportunity you could get, but that was none of my business. I'm not saying that because that's any of my business. All I'm saying is this is just a warning to a lot of women. Whenever you have a gut feeling about anything, about anything. It doesn't have to be the man's sexuality or whatever the case may be. Whenever you just have a gut feeling about something, just listen to it, because I could have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of embarrassment, a lot of money, because like I said, for a majority of our relationship, I was the one doing, opposed to the first couple dates that he took me on to, I guess, now to what I know to be love bombing. And then his real colors came out. All I'm saying is, please, please, when you see something that doesn't sit right with your soul, or you feel something that doesn't feel right with your soul, run. So, more of the story, like I said, gut feeling, listen to it. And if you're in a relationship that's getting way too toxic, and you just have this feeling like, oh, but what if everything that I taught him, he goes and treats the next woman better than me? That may be true and it may not be true, but you will not have to go through the same trauma and heartbreak that you've been going through. Like, let the next woman handle that. Let the next woman go through that. Let the next woman see whatever she needs to see, or let the next woman make him better, whatever the case may be. But just worry about yourself and worry about getting yourself out of this toxic relationship. I may do other parts of other aspects of this relationship, but as far as the DL stuff, for me, he's not beating these allegations, because for 7 years and you knowingly cheated on me 3 times, you got caught, and there has never been any proof of a woman being involved, we have to talk about that. Like, that has to count for something. So yes, watch out, because you don't only have to worry about the women now. You have to worry about the man taking your man. Yeah. So thank you for listening to my TED Talk.